how can I be a leader in my everyday life, at school, at church, and at home as a youth in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Hello, welcome to Sip and Spill for this week. Who am I interviewing today?
Diesel Hughes.
And how old are you?
I'm 18.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior at Pima High School.
Perfect. I'm going to start off by just asking you a few questions and we'll get to know you. So the first one I'm going to ask you is, what is one of your favorite experiences you've ever had? Like either something you've seen or done or just something you remember.
So, me and Meryl got the opportunity to go on a trip to New York and Palmyra and did all the things. And my favorite experience was going into the Sacred Grove and just the peace that was in there. Like, even though I didn't get like the, oh my gosh, like blah, 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 like I didn't get that, but it was so peaceful. So, yeah.
I love that. That was a really interesting experience because when we got there, the people working there said they had never had more issues with mosquitoes in their whole time of working there than that specific day. And so we all went in with this like, oh, I'm going to find a rock and sit down and have this like crazy experience. And every time we tried to sit down, we got like eaten alive. So you had to like keep walking around and moving. And at first, like, it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because we were like, I'm trying to have a spiritual experience in the Sacred Grove. The one time like I might ever be here. And it was so frustrating. But then I feel like everyone, because of that almost, ended up having a really great experience. And it was really cool. So I know you like to bake.
Yes, I love to bake.
What is one of your favorite things you've ever made? Like the coolest, or just you enjoy making it, or something along those lines?
Butterfly bread.
Okay, explain to me.
Okay, so basically you take a regular loaf of bread. It's going to have to be like a Dutch oven. Like, you have to cook it in a Dutch oven, otherwise it doesn't really work. At least I don't think so. I've never tried it outside of the Dutch oven. But you take it, you'll paint it, and then you cut it into a butterfly. You put it in there, and then you'll cut it again, and then you'll make it look like the wings are coming off of the actual bread.
What?
It looks so cool. I wish I had a picture of it. I don't.
My next question for you. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? Like, not sit down. You're on the go. You're going through a drive-thru. What is your favorite?
Does Panda count? That's like a fast food.
They have a drive-thru, sure. Yeah.
Panda. Dude,
Solid choice.
I will eat Panda any day of the week. Any day. So good.
It's so good. What do you get from Panda?
Just the orange chicken and white rice.
White rice. I'm a fried rice kind of girl.
Really?
White is boring. Fried is so good. It has little vegetables, so you feel good about yourself.
I'm not a rabbit. I'm not a rabbit. I'm sorry.
Bro! Oh my
I
gosh.
need to be better about eating my vegetables. My mom would be so disappointed.
See, for me, when I'm eating out, I feel like that makes me feel better about myself.
She's like, I ate 4 vegetables in my rice.
Yeah, look at
That
all the
makes
lettuce
me
on
healthy.
this burger. That's how I always feel it in and out. I'm like, look how healthy we are. Like, look at that fat tomato. Look at that lettuce. Like, ignore the fact that all of this was deep fried.
Look at all those vegetables.
And then I take half of them off. And then I eat my burger. Perfect. Thank you for answering those. So now I would like you to kind of introduce yourself. So today the topic is leadership. And there are several reasons why I am really excited to talk to Diesel about this. And I picked him for this specific topic. But I was wondering if you could kind of give me a rundown of some things you've participated in, or your history or past, or why this kind of fits with you.
So I've worked in the Graham County Substance Abuse Coalition since 6th grade. And I've done speaking and stuff, and that's kind of how I got into everything. And then I got approached with a couple more nonprofits, and I kind of did a little bit of speaking for them. And then I got my bigger job, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I got more of a leadership role where I could really go out there and like speak and stuff. And that was with the GYC. I had to apply for it, went through the whole entire approval process, anywho. But got in, and they make you go and speak at conferences, and you get put on like a list of people to like contact if you need youth speakers and stuff. So like, I've had opportunities to speak at EAC. I've had opportunities to speak at, what is it, U of A? Is that the, yeah, U of A. and just like different places in Phoenix and Mesa and all the different places. So,
And
yeah.
haven't you been to Washington as well?
Yeah, I've been to Washington. I didn't have to, like, I got to get up in front of a group of people. It wasn't a planned speech. They didn't, like, they asked me to speak, but it was like in the moment type of thing. They were like, oh, well, what do you think about this? And I got up and gave like a 10-minute speech about whatever they were talking about. So, yeah.
That's really awesome. Okay, so clearly he's had some experience with this. And so I kind of wanted to talk to him about this today. Kind of how we're going off of leadership. So this podcast is centered towards youth in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And we're going to talk a lot about different questions, different approaches to life, different things to apply to life as youth. And I think it's really interesting that it's coming from someone who's also living the same world you're living in the middle of high school, just another youth in the church with a lot of the same struggles and issues. And so I do my best to find people who have some experience with those things so that we can kind of learn from them, but they're also still young and in our shoes. So we're going to talk about leadership today based off of that. And the idea today is kind of, the approach is more of, how can I be a leader in my everyday life, at school, at church, and at home, as a youth in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So first, I asked Diesel to prepare a scripture or a quote that he feels like can apply to this and his thoughts on that. So would you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, of course. I got to get out my phone because I don't have it memorized, which is kind of embarrassing.
I have to get mine too.
So the quote that I decided to pick was President Russell M. Nelson. He said, "Every young man and every young woman is a leader. Your responsibility is to learn and lead as the Savior would lead."
What does that mean to you?
So when he says that, I think he's saying that you need to live and show everyone what you believe in. Like, I feel like a lot of the times when we're at school, we kind of hide it. Like, we pretend like it's
Totally.
taboo. We pretend like what we pray for is like kind of like small, you know what I mean? And we're like, we make it not like a joke, but we like undermine the gifts that we have.
I feel like that's because the world does that
Yeah.
to it. And so when you're trying to fit into societal norms, sometimes we do that as well.
Yeah. And I think it's very important that we don't do that. Like it is so important that we do not undermine God's gifts, because they're so important. Like, he wouldn't have given them to us if they weren't important for us, you know?
I love that. That's really cool. So you're saying that a good way to show leadership at school is genuinely just to be what you believe.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're going off of?
Don't be the I don't know how to say it. Like, don't be the part of you that everyone wants you to be. Like, don't be the societal norm. Don't try to fit in. Just be the person who God knows you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I love how in that quote, he compared that to being like Christ. Because Christ was bold.
Yeah.
Christ stood for what he believed in. Like, that was Jesus Christ. And so as we're trying to be like Jesus Christ in those public settings, to be like him is to be bold in what you believe in, who you are. I love that so much.
And I think a lot of people think that, like, being like Christ is like being like a stick figure. Like, you can't ever step out of line. Christ was funny. If any of you guys have watched The Chosen, like, I truly believe that that's how Christ was. Because he is so funny. He jokes with everyone, and he's so happy. And he's so loving. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of the time we're like, oh, just be like Christ and everything. We take it, and I mean, at least I've taken it in the way of like, okay, well, then I have to be perfect.
Put yourself in a box.
Yeah, like, don't put yourself in a box. Like, you can still make jokes. You can still do all those things and
And
stuff.
have a great personality.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Okay. Thank you so much. I also have a quote that's on Diesel's phone.
It's on my phone.
Thank you, Diesel.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, my quote says, and it's by Elder Maxwell, it says, "A leader is one that knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." Mic drop. Literally, it's so good. It's like my favorite ever, because here, I'm going to break it down the 3 ways, right? So a leader is one that knows the way. So first, how do you know the way, right? You know the way by seeking and looking at good sources of knowledge, right? I can trust President Nelson because I know that he's a prophet of God. And I know that the things he tells me is revelation from God. I can trust the scriptures because I know that those are words through God's people from God. I can, you know what I mean? When I use sources that I can trust, that helps me to know the way, right? So like we're talking about being like Christ. You want to know how to do that? Go look at his life.
Yeah.
Go look at the way Christ lived and strive to replicate that, right? I love how you said like The Chosen, how he was funny and had a personality. That's so huge and not boring. It's actually really exciting.
I feel like a lot of time we're like, oh, well, following the church's teaching is boring. No, it's not. Don't lie to yourself. It's not. Like,
Well, how cool is it to get to like know God like
Yeah.
that?
yeah,
That's
because
the
nobody,
coolest.
like, everybody thinks that they know him and stuff. And like, I saw this quote the other day where it was like, there's a highway of people who, like, I don't even know what it is. There's a highway of people who go to church and stuff. There's only like a dirt road of people who actually follow God's
I saw
teaching.
that too. I
It's
saw that.
so good.
It's
I
like-
love it.
It's like when you like believe in the church and then when you follow the church,
Yeah.
right? I think that's kind of what it was.
And they're completely different things. Neither of them, like,
Yeah.
the highway isn't bad.
No, it's
But-
not bad at all.
You want to get closer to him. You want a not faster way, but do you want like a more personal relationship with him?
Hmm.
Follow him. Don't just go to church. Don't just do those things. Follow him and actually like dig deep into his feelings and like everything that he says in the scriptures and stuff.
Absolutely. And that also goes into being a leader is being a follower of God, right? When you're leading people towards God, you have to be following God yourself.
Absolutely.
The next part of that is goes the way and shows the way. That actually perfectly ties into what Diesel just said. So going the way, right, is basically that. It's not just doing the things you know to be right, but it's doing the things you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's very interesting because
Where it's like,
we're told from a very young age when you've been raised in the church. At least I have. You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of people who haven't. But as youth in the church who've been in the church their whole lives, we're told from a very young age the things we should do. We're helped kind of into the decision of getting baptized. We are able to kind of piggyback off of our parents' testimonies, etc. But it's becomes so much more personal when it's something that you believe for yourself and that you want to do. And if you want to know how to do that, go to good sources,
Yeah.
go to the prophet, go to the scriptures, do the things that they ask you to do, because I can promise from my own experiences that as I have followed their words and the things that they've asked me to do, I have had those blessings and those outcomes happen in my life. And I can promise that. And that is the same with showing the way. It's just being bold in doing those things and not afraid to be a disciple of Christ. So, and it becomes so empowering and it gives you so much confidence as a person. At first, it's definitely scary, especially at school. It's hard being different
yeah.
than a lot of people. But
And even in a place like Pima, where like everybody
yeah, we live in a
is
very
LDS.
LDS community, but it's still taboo
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
You
To
know what
be-
I mean?
To say like, oh, well, last night I was praying and like I had this feeling. Well, then
That's like
then you're like,
to
oh,
some people.
I don't know. Like, oh, it's just like it was something stupid. Don't call his gift stupid. Like, what he said to you was a gift. You know?
Yeah, and when you can be bold with confidence,
Yes.
you actually continue to gain more confidence.
Absolutely.
And not only in yourself, but in your relationship with God. So next, I'm going to ask you, Diesel, if you could tell me a story from a time where you felt like a leader.
So when I joined the GYC last year, I already had leaders and stuff, and like you're already a leader kind of. And then when I decided to do it again this year, I was told, hey, you're gonna pick your, like basically like your vice president. You're gonna be picking your vice president. And they tell me that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is weird. Like I have to be picking somebody who's under me, somebody who's supposed to be like better than me almost, you know what I
Someone
mean?
you can count on.
And so I'm worried because I'm like, this has to be someone that I 100% trust. And so immediately I'm like, I gotta pray. Like I have to pray to God and like ask him. So I'm like, okay, is it this person or is it this person? Like which one's supposed to be? And eventually like he gave me my answer and stuff. And I think that is such a big, like, that is a leader thing. To be able to ask for help, be able to ask for guidance
Absolutely.
is so important. A leader does not, like, a leader can't do it alone. You're not a good leader if you're doing it alone.
Yes.
That's what I believe personally. If you can't ask for help, you are not a good leader. So,
Yeah, and especially I feel like when you're trying to lead people to God, well, you're following God,
yeah.
right? So if you're trying to be that example at school, at church, whatever it may be, President Nelson prays every night and asks for guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And President Nelson
Is a great leader.
is a great leader. And
Yeah.
President Nelson sits and discusses and talks with his apostles. He doesn't do it alone. There's definitely things that he has the power to decide 100%, but he asks for help, you know? Especially, think when they go to visit all the different temples around the world and bless those. He doesn't go to bless every single one. He sends people out and it helps let other people help him complete his work. I think that's one of the most interesting things about our gospel is we're put into groups right from the get-go, right? Like, we're this huge organization and we work together. Everyone has their different roles, their different callings. We depend on each other. And that is the way in our perfect church. We believe that we have the perfect church on earth. Not the perfect people living it, but it's a perfect gospel. And that's the way it's set up, is that we are working together and depending on each other, and everyone is fulfilling their role in that organization and in that plan. Yeah, so I love that. So going off of that, my next question for you is, I feel in the church, sometimes youth feel like our callings aren't as important or struggle to fulfill our callings because we're busy with school. We're busy with everyday life. We're busy with so much things. Being a teenager is extremely stressful.
Yeah.
So
and exhausting.
And absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So with that, I want to ask you, how do you feel that teenagers can better fulfill their callings in the church with all the things that we go through every day?
I think if you want to fulfill your calling better in the church, get a solid relationship with God. Be so close to Him. You just need to be so close to Him and feel His love. Like, you need to feel His love so that you can help other people find it, I guess, and be so in tune with Him so that He can tell you, hey, this person's struggling. This person needs help. And so that you can be the leader that He's asking you to be. Because when you get put into, whether you're your first counselor in priesthood, or if you're the young women's president, or whatever it may be, and you get put into that, you were prayed into that position. God told them, hey, I want this person in there. It's divine revelation. Like, they put you in there. It's a calling. They put you in there, and God is like, I know you're going to be a good leader, and I know that if I need you to help someone, you are going to help me out with that. So you need to be close enough with Him so that He can tell you, hey, this person needs help, this person's struggling, or hey, this is the lesson that you need to be teaching, or this is the person who needs to be teaching the lesson. You need to be close enough to do that and to have that relationship with Him. And part of that comes with reading the scriptures every day. We're told that it's a promise, if we read the Book of Mormon, that we will be closer to Him and that we will have that relationship with Him. And I love that so much. I love that we're told that. Joseph Smith says it, and Doctrine and Covenants, I think, somewhere. And he talks about how if you read it, you will be closer to God. And part of being a good leader is being close to God. Because who is a better leader? You can't think of any other leader. He is over every human, every living organism, everything. He leads all of us. He does all of it. Like, all of it. Not alone, because He has us helping Him. He has Jesus helping Him. Like, He has all of these people that He's leading all of us.
Like, He could do it on His own.
Yeah.
But He asked us as imperfect people to carry out His perfect work. Like, what?
Which is insane. I feel
so crazy.
We're all like, oh my gosh, we're so underqualified. But God's like, no, you'll be qualified.
And
like, I will get you.
He trusts us to do that.
Yeah. And He teaches us from a really, really young age. I think that's why we get put into, like, being over, like, we have the presidents, and then we have the first counselor, second counselor, secretary, all that different type of stuff. And then we leave on a mission, and we get super duper comfortable with being uncomfortable. God's like, those are the traits that I want in a leader, so that's the traits that I'm going to make sure that we pull out of them, that we bring up to the front. Because everybody has access to be an amazing leader. As President Monson said in my talk, he said that every single young man and young lady, all of them, every single one of them have the potential to be an amazing leader, to be a leader. So all of us have it. And I think that when God sends us out on a mission, when he picks the perfect place for us, he knows that it's going to pull out those leadership abilities out of us.
So you believe that going on a mission is one of, if not the best way for youth to become leaders in the church?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to, and if it's even just in regular things, you ask any LDS business owner, they will all say, I'm almost guaranteeing you that they learned all of these business skills, they learned all of their leadership skills from going on a mission. That's not to say everyone who owns a business, if they didn't
and they go through schooling and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the mission. First, I think that gave them the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
And second, that helped them to gain that leadership confidence.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. That was perfect. I love that so much. Now, to kind of top this conversation and everything we've talked about, we're going to have our sip for the week. So basically, let me read it off. This is based on our topic and what we covered today. What is a habit you could leave for us to sip on or try out throughout this week, as well as your testimony of that habit?
So my sip for the week is going to be that if you want to be a good leader, you need to get very close with God. And that means talking to him. Like, brothers and sisters, talk to God. He wants to hear from you. Whether it's just, hey, how's your day going, blah, blah, blah. Talk to him. He wants to hear from you. He cares about you. And he wants to hear everything about your day. Just, even if it's just in the car, the way to school, home from school, just talk to him. He wants to hear from you. And that will make you a better leader. I promise you. You will feel so much more comfortable. You will feel better about yourself. You will have a way better attitude about things. So that's my sip for the week.
And will you share your testimony about being a leader with us?
My testimony would be that God cares so much about us and cares so much about his children that he wants everybody to come unto him. And how he does that is by making his children in the church very good leaders and very good at talking to people, so that by being very, very good at talking to people, we can bring others unto Christ. So, in the name of Jesus Christ, man, that would be that's my testimony.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on Sip and Spill. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had our Sip and Spill sesh.
Just in time, because I'm all out.
Yeah. I still have like half of mine. So if you guys would like to have any questions answered, go ahead and leave those questions down in the comments, and I will add those into the rotation of questions to answer. And if you would like to be a part of one of these videos, make sure to let me know. I have an Instagram and a TikTok. I'll leave those linked. So go follow us and see some behind the scenes, some other stuff that we'll let out, and go ahead and just slide into my DMs and send me a text. I would love to have you on here with me if you feel like you have something to share about a certain experience or topic. So thank you, Diesel, for being on with us today.
Of course, it's a pleasure.
And we'll see you guys next time. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I'm wanting some of that for like 10 minutes. Actually, more like 20. Yeah, no. Not cute. Okay, you know what? We didn't pray before we did this.
No.
We're gonna start over. I know it's crazy. Yeah. So, would you... Okay. Basically, just start.
What is wrong with me?
You're good.
What is wrong with me? I don't know why I'm freaking out now.
Let's take some rest.